and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Stormwater Management Board, February 17th, 2026. We'll start with the claims.
Under the Drainage Board, we had claims from the Regulated Drains Fund for Robbins Ditch in the amount of $156.15.
Motion to approve. We have a motion. Second. I'll second that motion. All in favor, say aye. 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 Motion carries.
And then under Stormwater Management Board for the claims from the Stormwater Fund, we have Kemper Ditch Arm 8B in the amount of $6,703.44. Robbins Ditch for $26,799.05, and Shorewood Forest Subdivision in the amount of $86,246.54.
Make the motion to approve as second.
I'll second that.
We got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Aye.
Chelsea, did you extinguish the Robbins Ditch funds, whatever we had left in that then?
Yeah, so what you see there in the Drainage Board, that was the small amount that was left in the Regulated Drain Fund for Robbins Ditch. And then the remainder of the project, invoice remainder, is what you see paid out of the Stormwater Management Fund.
Very good. Knocking them down one by one.
We're getting there, yes.
Good.
Okay, next we have a contract award.
So we have another annual professional services agreement for this period of February 1st, 2026 through January 31st, 2027 for Lawson Fisher Associates.
Motion to approve. We have a second.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next, we have a contract administration.
So we have two change orders in front of you this morning. The first one is for the Kemper Ditch Arm 18 Drain Tile Reconstruction Project with Reith Riley Construction Company. This is change order number 2, final change order to adjust the contract price to reflect the final measure quantities. The change order will decrease the value of the contract by $22,360.00 to a total contract price of $177,040.00.
Motion to approve.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
The second change order is for our Olney Road Storm Sewer Reconstruction Project with Grimmer Construction. Like we discussed at the previous meeting, the storm sewer has been installed. So this change order is going to adjust the contract price due to changes necessary to resolve conflicts discovered during the performance of the work or installation of the storm sewer between the storm sewer improvements and existing sanitary sewer, modifications to manhole structures to connect to existing pipe, and additional tree removal that needed to be included within the clearing and grubbing of the easement. This change order will increase the value of the contract by $26,599.00 to a total contract price of $384,334.00.
Was this the only change order on Olney?
There was the first change order adjusted the contract times due to the delay in acquiring the easement.
But it wasn't a monetary amount.
That was not a monetary amount.
Make a motion to approve.
Second with discussion. Just a question.
Yes.
Assuming that with your approval.
Yes. Yeah. So this change order I have reviewed. I worked with our consultant, Wessler Engineering, as well as the contractor. I will note that due to the delay in getting the easement, we did push back the time for Grimmer to complete this project. They did not ask for any additionals due to that delay and the adverse weather conditions. So I think this change order is very reasonable. They were willing to work with us on some of the additional amounts needed for especially that clearing and grubbing number. So yes, I approve this change order, and I think the number's good.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Announcements.
So the announcement in front of you this morning is for the Rolling Meadows Subdivision Stormwater Management System Improvements Phase 1. We have previously discussed this in my various reports, but this work will consist of the reconstruction of the existing stormwater infrastructure, including the storm sewer and storm sewer structures, as well as the partial reconstruction of Laguerre Drive and Angelica Court to accommodate those improvements. This will address long-standing drainage issues and poor condition of the existing storm sewer. Sealed bids will be opened and a contract awarded at a future meeting. So you can see that location map. That's the location of Rolling Meadows subdivision, just southeast of Sherwood Forest subdivision. And if you go to the next slide, please, those red boxes, that will be the limits of work. And I would like to note that I have worked with Martin, our highway engineer, on the highway department is going to come in and mill and resurface the entire subdivision. So our stormwater portion of the work will just include, for the reconstruction of the roadway, will just include putting binder down on the roadway, and then the highway department can come through and then put the surface down. So that will be a cost savings realized on the stormwater fund, and then working collaboratively with the highway department and our highway engineering group.
So they're going to re-mill it and seal it?
No, it'll be mill and resurface. As far as my recollection of the work is milling an inch to inch and a half and then putting down another inch to inch and a half within the subdivision. The roadways are in poor condition because of the lack of drainage infrastructure and the poor condition of the drainage infrastructure.
And I'm assuming that the subdivision itself is totally built out.
Yes, it is. Yeah. This
It's
is
a very wet area. And are you upsizing the pipe along this road? Or
so the pipe size will vary from 12 inch to 30 inch. The 30 inch is what we will be matching. Kevin, you could probably speak to the history a little bit better, but on the west side of Angelica Court, there is a 30 inch HDPE that was put in after the subdivision was built. On the east side of Angelica Court, there is an 18 inch HDPE that was put in when the subdivision was originally developed. So to answer your question, we're matching the existing storm sewer sizes, but that is matching the improved capacity of the storm sewer. They have done modeling. This meets our stormwater standards, and 30 inches more than sufficient.
we had issues with the original, when I came in, the storm sewer had already been put in. In fact, this land was very interesting. It was a applied sludge site that had been developed, and we've had a lot of issues with the septic systems because the drainage systems for those, independent of what we manage, had problems. But one of the issues we could deal with back then was to increase the size of the outlet pipe to the pond. At the very east end of this, we increased that to 30 inches, but prior to that, the thing was surcharging because all the pipes were way too small.
So this should be an improvement.
It will be.
Yes. And we will also be doing some improvements to the sediment forebay of the detention basin. So the storm sewer outlets into the detention basin are more than halfway filled with sediment. So we'll be cleaning that out, which will also increase the capacity of the storm sewers as well.
When did this originally go in?
Sometime around 95 to 97, I think.
I was going to say it was the late 90s.
Yeah.
And then to speak to Kevin's point that he was discussing about the septic systems, part of the drainage infrastructure is the master tiles that were installed along the rear yards. So we'll call it like those three fingers that you see in the cul-de-sacs, offset those into the rear yards. That will be a future phase that will resolve long-standing issues with the septic systems functioning due to high groundwater levels, as well as significant rear yard ponding and flooding.
This obviously would have looked much different if it was being built today.
100%.
Oh, yes.
And yeah, so
The reasons why it would look different is because this.
I think that that's well said. And what Kevin mentioned is that the reason why the UDO was redone and why our department was created with our development review program is to prevent issues like this.
And adding to that, Jim, the ponds were both too small for the development as they're designed. So they were widened as far as the drainage board could take them. because by that time we're boxed in with development. But I don't think they've been cleaned in 30 years. So.
Yeah, and the consulting engineer, Burke Engineering, they did do some modeling on the detention basin at the eastern limit of the subdivision where this storm sewer is going to outlet to see if it would be feasible to increase the size of the detention basin to have it meet our stormwater release rate. That would be very cost prohibitive because of land acquisition that would be needed, and then the water levels would also encroach to the rim elevation at the intersection of LeGarrette and Angelica. So we will not be increasing the capacity of the detention basin, just doing the maintenance that Kevin mentioned of removing the sediment. And then in future years after the storm sewer is reconstructed, we can look at mowing the detention basin and doing maintenance in that regard.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
And sorry to interject, but Scott, I believe we said on these announcements, since we are looking to go out for bid, we would like a motion and a vote on this.
Just a motion and a second for the announcement that we will be going out for bid.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. And then to the Stormwater Program Manager report, I'll kind of do our 2026 look ahead. So we have 20, I guess looking at what we've done so far this year, we have 20 projects initiated to date, 14 of which are maintenance on our regulated drains and regulated subdivisions. And then looking ahead for 2026 of projects to be completed, we have the Rolling Meadows subdivision, which you guys just approved the announcement for. Our Ludington Ditch Arm 10 Phase 3. This is a regulated drain tile reconstruction. The existing tile size is 12-inch. We will be replacing it with 12-inch tile. But we will be utilizing a tile machine method with HDPE pipe. So we have a significant amount of regulated drain tiles that we are responsible for maintaining, repairing, and reconstructing. So utilizing the tile machine with this still dual wall corrugated HDPE, it is much more cost effective than the open trench construction. We'll call it the storm sewer method. So trying to use this as a pilot project to see how the installation goes, what the longevity of the project is. That way we maybe have a better chance of getting ahead of some of these regulated drain tiles on repair and reconstruction. The next project we're looking to complete this year is the Hidden Hollow Hackney Lane Reconstruction and Stormwater Improvements Project. This is going to be another joint project with the Highway Department. They're looking at doing a full depth reconstruction of Hackney Lane within Hidden Hollow subdivision, as well as Hackney Lane goes into another subdivision, which name is escaping me at the moment. But as a part of this, the stormwater improvements to finish out the Hidden Hollow stormwater improvements portion will be under the contract for the Hackney Lane reconstruction. So we will have a memorandum of understanding between the Stormwater Management Board and the commissioners at the next meeting, just to say that the Stormwater Fund will reimburse the Highway Department for the cost of the stormwater improvements. And then the final project we're looking to complete this year, as funds allow, is the Lakewood Hills Subdivision Cherrywood Lane Storm Sewer Reconstruction Project. This storm sewer has failed corrugated metal 24-inch storm sewer, so looking at replacing and reconstructing that portion of the storm sewer within that subdivision.
That's over 50 years old.
Yeah, it's pretty old. And then also we will be completing strategic plan work sessions beginning this spring. I would say probably our end of March, beginning of April meeting, we'll start getting those work sessions underway for our strategic plan. So if there's any date where you can't have this meeting run up until the start of the commissioners meeting, please let me know so I can plan those work sessions around that. And then the final thing I wanted to talk about with my program manager report, if you go to the next slide, please. We got in Salt Creek Valley Commons subdivision a report of a sinkhole this past summer. So, and this is looking to the north through the easement. So you can see the utility pole, and then you can kind of see the locates for the various telecom facilities within that easement as well. And then where you see the fence in the background of the photo, as well as the air conditioner, that is the limits of the easement. So to reconstruct a 18-inch storm sewer that's approximately 7 feet deep would be very difficult to do within this width of easement. We would have to remove the air conditioners, reset the air conditioners, and take on that liability and those permissions from the landowners. So what we worked with our contractor is to install this storm sewer via directional boring. We have not done that, at least during my time of managing the program. So this is going to be another pilot project to see how directional bore install the storm sewer, how the methodology works, and will this be more cost savings to us for these areas where the easements are very tight, or there's a significant amount of utilities rather than going through the utility relocation process, or the contractor charging us more for open trench construction because of the delicacy of working in such a tight easement would be. So more to come on that one.
Have we done anything, looking at the photograph, have we done anything to cure that hole?
We did put caution tape around it, staked it off. What you see here is as the contractor was mobilizing in. So yes, there was also various sinkholes along this stretch of storm sewer. It was also corrugated metal pipe, 18-inch, like I mentioned.
What, going north?
Yeah, going north. So it discharges back at those trees. So right now you're standing at the curb line, and towards that green bar at the bottom, that's the top of the inlet within the curb. So the storm sewer goes from the curb to
What is this that back road, the furthest road in the back?
This does outlet to a ravine, and I believe there is one more road to the north, but this is Sassafras drive through.
See any houses back?
No, so you have the ravine system and those trees, but this is towards the far east of the subdivision. So then you have more houses that go to the north at the western end of the subdivision.
This is their street drain, and I'm glad you mentioned, because once you see one sinkhole, you're probably going to see a series of them line in pretty short order. How much sediment is getting deposited down at the other end of this? Does that need to be cleaned up too, or?
That's part of what we'll have to look at. As a part of the Greater South Haven study in 2021, we did televise the line, but this has obviously formed since then. So, the sinkholes were pretty significant. So, is there sediment that migrated through the system? Absolutely. But I know that further north of here also needs to be a part of a reconstruction project that was highlighted as a part of that drainage study. So,
How deep is that hole?
I believe it was like 6 or 7 feet deep. It was pretty deep here. So yeah, we did, like I mentioned, staked it off, put caution tape around it. We monitored it through the summer as we were trying to figure out a solution on how do we repair this, how do we reconstruct the storm sewer, and also getting on our contractor schedule.
And when do you think that we'll start working?
They started last week. So yeah, the directional bore, I believe, happened on Friday.
I'm just curious, what do you think caused this?
So it's corrugated metal storm sewer. It rusted out, and as you had those voids, water moved through, and it just sucked in the soil that was surrounding the storm sewer that was then exposed from the storm sewer rusting. So
Its design life, in this case, probably exceeded design life. Something that we're always concerned with.
That's over 40 years.
Yeah, I was saying that's 50 years. 50 years ago.
yeah, and this is what we are seeing.
Beer cans in that hole.
This is what we're seeing for just across the county with these corrugated metal pipes. Like Kevin said, it was installed around 50 years ago, exceeded its design life, and we know what happens when metal and water interact, and then you add in the fact that this is a street drain, so you're seeing salt added to that. We also, what we see with our vehicles, that's what we're seeing with these pipes. And then you see the grit also moving in through, so it's abrasive, it's corrosive, just not a good combination.
Pretty understanding.
They have been very understanding. Yeah, they have been great to work with. as we try to work through figuring out what is the best solution here. Is it removing the fence and resetting the air conditioners and then working with our contractor with this solution? I think that we're just excited to get this one done and have it safe in between these homes here.
As a suggestion, can you get them to put their downspout drain away from that hole? Because right now it's directed right at the hole. Maybe direct it back to the street.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that we can ask them about, but that hole is obviously going to be backfilled.
Oh yeah.
Won't be there anymore.
Just
Yep.
for the interim, I'm thinking with the storms we have coming up.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm pretty sure they've completed the storm sewer installation on Friday,
Oh.
so they should be buttoning things up here this week.
And never mind.
I appreciate the suggestion though. And with that, I don't have anything else unless if you guys have any other questions of me.
Okay. Thank you for that. Any other matters which may properly come before the board? None? Okay, next meeting, March 10th, 2026.